Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Closing Comments here on July 30th. Let's check out these charts and see what happened in the markets today. As we can see, the big mover today was this cattle market as it really started to kick back into gear. Sound like a broken record, but another day and another all-time high for both the feeders and the fats. We are seeing this market kind of move out of this uptrend channel we've been trading in for the last 4 or 5 months. Coming into the week, we got those early bids above that 223.5. Nice close yesterday and really carried that momentum into today's action. Opening up and hitting the ground running, pushing up about $3.50 on the day, gaining some nice ground, and really seeing the speed pick up as we break out the top end of this trend channel. Be looking for this market to carry this momentum into tomorrow and perhaps throughout the rest of the week, as the bulls have really pushed up into territory with not much resistance left here at the moment. So we could see this market really start to speed up and push up into those 230s. We are going to see volatility increase here, and so we do want to be cautious of some wide daily ranges. This market could swing both directions here in some pretty wide daily ranges, so just want to be cautious of that, especially being up here at these pretty overbought levels. Down here on our heat index, we can see we are getting pretty extended, printing a 5.1 here on this heat index, saying we're awfully extended from this 50-day moving average. This is the highest reading we've had all year long, so we are pushing up there into overbought territory, so we do want to be cautious of pullbacks that could come from here. At the moment, we do have this nice momentum and this nice breakout here, so we should see this market continue to press higher early. Just want to be cautious of some volatility, and potential closes below prior day lows could kick us into pullback territory, so just want to be cautious of that. However, we do expect to see this upside continue, and we could see this thing really start to go parabolic from here, so be ready for some fast markets here as the speed starts to pick up. Over to the September feeders now. This market definitely picking up some nice ground as well, pushing up into 340, taking off the top of this trend line as well here on the September contract. We balanced out over the last couple of weeks and then broke out above 326 and carried that momentum into this week after last week's strong close. Pushing up here to 340. This market's also getting pretty extended here, printing about a 5.5 reading on this heat index down here as well, showing we are extended, so we are going to be on the lookout for pullbacks to come from here, but at the moment the bulls just have no real signs of slowing down, closing this market near the highs here today, and we should see this market start to pick up some speed and increase in volatility, so I just want to be cautious of the wide daily ranges here as well. When this market does finally start to turn around, we could see a pretty big red day to reverse some of this action, but from here we do still expect to see dips be bought up. We're just going to have to wait and see how support steps in the event of a pullback, but here in the meantime, be looking for this upside to keep on flowing throughout the rest of the week, and look for these cattle prices to continue to climb and stay hot in this very strong market. Let's jump over to the corn futures now. It's December contract balancing out, pretty quiet day over here, just trading inside yesterday's range. We are still in this big picture downtrend. Not a whole lot to say here about this market at the moment until we get above some of these prior day highs and potentially get into a pullback or range bound territory here between 4 and 430. But at the moment, look for this downtrend to continue flushing lower. We are just about 5 cents off of these contract lows, and this market should be sniffing out that $4 level soon, so look for the bears to continue pushing these corn prices lower. Oil market continuing to pick up some ground here today. This has been the surprise of the week. This market did look pretty heavy as we started off the week, but we've just seen nothing but upside coming off of that $65 bull pivot. This market hitting the ground running Sunday night and pushing higher over the last 3 days. Had a nice close here today above that prior swing high from the 14th of July that we discussed. At the moment, we still do expect to see a nice range bound and choppy action here. This market has just been beat down after this recent run up. We've been trying to keep this market contained down here in the 60s, so nice little relief rally by the bulls here, pushing back up across this range. We do expect to see this market continue to chop sideways in the $65 to $70 range. We could see this market kind of come back up into the low 70s here. They do have some nice momentum here at the moment, so look for the bulls to press back up into towards 72. This range that we traded in the fall and early winter last year between 72 and 66 was a pretty sticky place, and it was hard for price to get out of there. And at the moment, it looks like this market's going to continue to hang around in this area, as this $65 to $72 range is a pretty comfortable spot for this oil market at the moment. So we could see continued drift higher here at the moment, but in the meantime, not a whole lot of directional moves here. Look for more range-bound action in this oil market. Over to the equity world here today. Fed day introducing a little bit of volatility here in this pretty quiet market. Over the last 2 days, we have seen the start of a potential pullback. We did get a breakdown below 6,400 here today. If we take a look on our lower time frame, we had a nice break there following the Fed announcement at noon Mountain Time, breaking down below 6,400. But the bulls aggressively buying this thing back up into the close here today. In the last about 20 minutes of the day, they pushed this market off the lows and ended up putting new highs in for the day, and already getting a nice rally here in the the Globex session open tonight. So at the moment, this market remains resilient. We expect to see this upside continue. Look for any bids above today's high to carry this market back up towards the 6,500 mark and carry on this big picture uptrend. Go down the line, the Dow was the weakest here today, finding some support down here at the 20. Nice rejection off those lows late in the day, right before the close. Good support at that 20-day moving average like we saw a couple weeks ago on the 16th of July. Good support. We expect to see this 20-day moving average continue to push price. We'll be looking for a breakout above this 45,200 level on the Dow. Once the Dow stocks are able to rally and get this thing up here into new all-time highs, we could really see this market take off and push the S&P and this NASDAQ index higher, even though they've had considerable strength recently, and continue to push into new all-time highs here on this NASDAQ index. Look for that Dow to give this market another boost and really kick this thing into gear and keep this uptrend rolling in this very strong environment. That's all we got for tonight. Have a good evening.